who are attending the webinar this afternoon. Like you're attending a lunchtime webinar, and it really shows your dedication and commitment towards quality. So when I put together the event flyer, I did mention on it that like who should be attending this kind of a presentation. Um, so people who've been asked to do more and more with fewer resources. If you want to save millions of dollars annually for your organization, revitalizing your quality program, and a few other things. So people, like if you had answered yes to one of the questions, then this presentation would be of benefit to you. So let me get started with the presentation. So the objectives, I want to talk about like a world-class organization, what this integrated model is, what are the things, what are the components in an integrated model, provide the importance and the key drivers for the culture of quality, then talk about the maturity model that came out from the global state of quality research. And fourth thing was alignment. How do you make sure that the organization strategy is aligned with the other elements, other components of the organization? And then talk about the how to use like a culture model to drive results in the organization. And then lastly, as Norval mentioned, I'm the section chair for the ASQ Charlotte section, and I do want to promote the ASQ World Conference that's scheduled for May 1st to 3rd in Charlotte. So let me get started. So I've been working on this like this world-class organization, like integrated model, because trying to get my thesis completed for my master's degree in quality assurance, and then I was looking at ASQ and many other places as to what are like the hot topics right now for quality professionals. And ASQ, they've done a lot of research, and they are focusing a lot on the culture of quality, and they've also done some reports on the global state of quality. So I call it like an integrated model because I'm taking into consideration two main aspects. One is the culture of quality research, and then the global state of quality research. So when you think about culture of quality research, right, like ASQ, they've partnered with APQC, American Productivity and Quality Center, a long time back in 2002. Then they partnered with the Forbes Insights a few years back. And then there was another research that was done separately by Corporate Executive Board on culture of quality. So this is a very important topic, and that is why a lot of research has been done on the culture of quality area. And then ASQ, they partnered with APQC on like the global state of quality research in 2013. And then in 2016, they again published another report. So it's important to understand like the term culture. So culture, right, many books refer to them as how things are being done within an organization, or how things are being done. So that is the definition for the culture. So let me talk to you about the importance of this culture of quality, because you need to understand, okay, why are we like even looking into the culture of quality in the first place. So in this slide, you can see this chart. You can see that the productivity has gone higher and higher when, like, the employment, the number of people working, that's not uh, increased. So everybody is asked to do more and more with lesser resources. And also people's expectations have increased significantly, and if a customer is unhappy, they can go to social media and air their negative feelings. And a lot of even the B2B customers, they've started using social media to make decisions. So there's like increased pressure on organizations. So what does it mean, like, if you have a strong culture of quality? So if you have a strong culture of quality, you're likely to make lesser number of mistakes. So companies belong to the top quintile, they are like half the time likely to make errors. So each and every employee, let's say, is making 7 errors in the bottom quintile. That like if that organization was in the top quintile, like they might make around 4 errors. So that lesser number of errors will be made by the employees when you have a stronger culture of quality. So even the customer facing errors or number of significant mistakes at rest, all that will be significantly lower when you have a strong culture of quality. And then corporate executive board, they've done some research on this culture of quality, and they've identified that for every 5,000 employees, moving from the bottom to the top quintile would save an organization $67 million annually. So there's a lot of cost savings associated with it. It's not like, okay, it's nice to have or something, but it's tied to actual dollars. So there's a lot of cost savings when you have a strong culture of quality, lesser number of errors. So, but when you think about it, like, more and more pressure on organizations to deliver things, and so it's likely there might be more errors, but when you have a strong culture of quality, you are likely to have less number of errors. So different people have done research, different organizations. So Forbes Insights, they partnered with ASQ on, like, trying to identify where are we in the world as a on the culture of quality. So they did this survey and they found out, like, quality professionals think 47% have a strong exhibits a culture of quality, whereas in the same survey, when executives did participate in it, 75% thought that their organization had exhibited the culture of quality. You see there's like a big difference, uh, but part of it might be like when the message, when it goes through the different levels of the organization, the message might get distorted, and senior executives, they're seeing a rosy picture of what's happening, but in reality the quality professionals would know what is going on the ground level. So this is one study, but corporate executive board, they've done similar research, and they found 60% work in an environment without the culture of quality. So you might wonder why this kind of a big difference. Here it says 47%, another study is saying 60%. The reason is because Forbes Insights and ASQ, they have a different definition for culture. So this definition, what's used over here, is slightly different from what is the culture of quality definition as per corporate executive board. So there's difference in the definition, and that is why you are getting slightly different numbers. Okay, to explain this concept of culture, right, I'm going to share a story with you to make it more interesting. Um, so, so imagine that you've heard about an awesome job opening in the company down the street from where you are currently working. So you apply for that role, which is like a promotion to the current role you are having in the company that you're working in. In a few days, you get an invitation from their HR of this new company for an on-site job interview. So you are very excited to go out for this job interview and about the promotion and the new company. So during the on-site interview, the HR and the hiring manager, they tell you that the organization is currently focused a lot on continuous improvement, and they ask you specific questions on what experience or what projects you've worked on specifically related to continuous improvement. So you do explain it to them what projects and things you've worked on recently. So they are happy with the responses that you've provided, and you do get selected for this new role in this new company. But in the back of your mind, you are wondering why did the HR and the hiring manager placed a lot of emphasis on continuous improvement. Okay, then finally, for the first day, you go join the company, and as part of the onboarding process, the HR informs you that about the organization values and the different initiatives that are going on within the organization related to continuous improvement. The HR lady also tells you that to get promoted to the next level, individuals within the organization, they need to achieve results on the continuous improvement side. So all this, when you are like on the onboarding process on the first day, you're wondering why they are talking about all this, but you're like, okay, I'm just going to get through all this. On back of your mind, there's another thought running on your mind that, okay, you've worked in many different organizations, and how is this different from the others? So finally, you're done with all the new hire training on the first day, and then your boss, he invites you to the department staff meeting. So on the first thing the department head he does in the staff meeting, he states the the mission statement of the organization, and everybody who's there attending the staff meeting, they repeat the mission statement, and once that has been completed, they for the next 5 minutes they are discussing about the continuous improvement activities that are going on with the project, with the different projects, and they talk about metrics related to continuous improvement. And once they're done with talking about all this in the first 10 minutes of the meeting or so, then they proceed to the other things they had to discuss. So you are wondering why why are they discussing about all these, like why is there so much of emphasis on the mission value, the continuous improvement activities, projects and metrics? But you're like, okay, you still don't believe there's a like a culture within this organization. Then so once you're done with the staff meeting, you are like just roaming around the building, just walking uh, on the different floors of the organization, and you see a lot of metrics being posted on the bulletin boards, TV screens, and then when you get back to your office, you look at your Outlook, and there's some emails related, and there's some newsletters being shared with you on what are the continuous improvement activities that are going on within the organization, and the metrics, all that is being shared. And then you're still not convinced, you're still wondering, okay, what is going on? And then during it's lunchtime, and then your team members, they take you out for lunch, and there's just so much of excitement, enthusiasm, energy within the team during the lunchtime, and they are talking about continuous improvement projects that they are working on, different metrics. There's so much of energy you can see during the lunchtime among your colleagues when they are discussing about these continuous improvement. And then few days later, you in your previous company you've worked on some continuous improvement activities, and then you find out ways this current company, the new company that you're working for, can improve things, and you mention all that to your boss. So the boss is saying he's going to take a look into it and get back to you. And like it's like end of the week, and it's like Friday evening, 4 o'clock. Your senior manager, or your boss's boss, he says he wants to have a chat with you. You're like wondering what is wrong, you're gonna get fired or what is going on. But he seems to appreciate the fact that you are bringing in all these new ideas related to continuous improvement. So he's very thankful for what you're doing for the organization. So this is all taking place in the first week of when you join the company. And then the second week, your boss comes to you and tells you about what are all the training courses that are available within the company: green belt, black belt, master black belt, Kaizen training, PDCA, PDSA, basic quality tools. There's so many training modules and training courses that are available within the organization, and he makes it very clear to you that you have to enroll in at least 200 hours of training related to continuous improvement, and it will be counted to get promoted within the organization. And then during your day-to-day projects that you're working on, you find out that the organization, they bring in external or actual customers in for meetings, and to discuss about the new product development activities. So there's a lot of customer focus and all that. So there's so much of activities that are going around within the organization related to continuous improvement, and you get a feeling that this organization is taking the continuous improvement very seriously. So that is a story I wanted to share. Okay. So from the story, I want to emphasize what are like the key drivers for the culture of quality. So from the story, you can see there's a lot of staff meetings, leadership, the senior leadership team was involved. During the meeting, the vision or the mission statement, values, all that was shared. There were bulletin boards, there were TV screens, there's a lot of things that are getting measured and discussed about in the staff meetings and other places. So the company, they bring in a lot of the customers when they are working on new projects. The training, there's a lot of training courses that are available: Six Sigma or PDCA, Green Belt, Black Belt, Master Black Belt. The HR person makes it very clear that to get promoted, continuous improvement should be taken very seriously, and results are important. And during the lunch time, you can like that when you join the company, you can see, hear, feel people discussing about all the continuous improvement activities. So these are like the key drivers, and I just wanted to share the story to get the message across. So as I mentioned to you at the start, there are like two main components. One is the culture of quality, that is on the leftmost. You can see vision, values, customer focus, measurement, training and incentives, see, hear, feel and transfer, leadership and communication is over here. So all that on the left side is all this culture of quality related things that were identified from the different researches that done by ASQ with APQC, with the Forbes Insights, with the corporate executive board. What you see on the right side is like what was identified from the global state of quality research that ASQ partnered with APQC. So what you see over here is like a maturity model. There are different levels. Level one is the lowest level, and that's more like compliance activity. You have risk mitigation on the next level, fixing problems, issues, level 3, proactive continuous improvement, level 4, and level 5 is quality is seen as a strategic asset and a competitive differentiator. So many world-class organizations, they are starting to see quality as a strategic asset and a competitive differentiator, and they also have a strong culture of quality. In fact, the 2016 ASQ global state of quality study shows like 1 in 3 organizations around the world, they are starting to see quality as a strategic asset and a competitive differentiator. Again, from that global state of quality report, there were several other elements that were identified as important. So metrics, reporting frequency, more and more organizations, they are starting to report more frequently to their leadership teams. The financial benefits are getting quantified. So these might be things like cost of poor quality, cost of quality. World-class organization, they're spending a lot more on technology. As far as the governance structure, 75% of the organizations have a centralized quality governance, with a shift towards a centralized department since 2013. So all these things were identified from the global state of quality research. And what you see on the left side is all the culture of quality elements or the key drivers. So let me expand on this quality maturity model. So this was what was the column 2 and column 3 was what came out from that global state of quality. But I just to explain it even better, I've just put together the last 2 columns. So what does it mean, like if you are like quality is a strategic asset, competitive differentiator? So things like innovation, big data, analytics, customer experience, sustainability. So it could mean any of these kind of things. Proactive continuous improvement, we are all familiar with continuous improvement, Lean Six Sigma, PDCA, all that, benchmarking. Level 1 is like just auditing, ISO 9000, ISO root cause analysis, all that. Risk mitigation, risk-based thinking, all that. Fixing problems, you have metrics, quality tools, cost of poor quality, Kaizen, PDCA, all that. So I just put this, I'm thinking like a quality management system will be sufficient to get you from level 1 to 3. The new ISO 9001 2015 standard places a lot of emphasis on risk mitigation. So proactive continuous improvement, again Lean Six Sigma benchmarking, but you're starting to see lots more of the quality professionals getting involved with the innovation, big data, customer experience. So traditionally, these things like customer experience and all were like marketing functions, but you are starting to see more quality professionals getting involved in those kind of activities. So this is that global state of quality, like maturity model. Um, so, so now I want to talk about alignment. So you have strategic goals for the organization. You want to make sure the strategic goals are aligned with your culture, your uh, your support activities, programs, technologies, processes, your organization structure, your your supportive functions like hiring, how people are hired. Does the organization take into consideration what is important to the organization? Is it continuous improvement is what is important, or innovation? Are they explaining that during the onboarding process? Uh, are employees getting promoted based on what is important to the organization? So you want to make sure that like you have a strong alignment with the your strategies, alignment with culture and other things within the organization. Okay, so what is currently available in the market? Like as I mentioned, a lot of research has been done by the Forbes ASQ with Forbes Insights. Then CEB, Corporate Executive Board, they've done some research, and there's like a diagnostic survey that people can take. So, so what you can do currently is like take like a survey from Forbes Insights or a CEB diagnostic survey, and that from that survey, right, you can see where you are currently and compare or benchmark against other organizations which they think have a strong culture of quality. I mean like Forbes Insights or Corporate Executive Board thinks they have a strong culture of quality. So these things you can do currently, but when you think about culture, right, how we do things around here, it encompasses the entire organization, and and I think that like from I believe that a different model needs to be used. Let me tell you what that model looks like. So this is like a model that's used for identifying organization culture and improving the organization culture. So let me explain to you what this model is. So experience, so on the bottom you have experiences, then next level is the beliefs, you have the actions, and then on the top you have results. So typically as quality professionals, right, we know what is important, what are the key performance indicators, or what are the goals, tactical goals, strategic goals to the organization, and then we come up with the initiatives, programs, plans, or how we are going to achieve the results, and we just manage it, but we don't understand like sometimes, right, we are trying to achieve some results. Let's say first pass yield, we want that to be like 99.5%, but for several years the organization has been like around that 95% mark. We don't know, we've been taking a lot of actions and still we are not getting the results. But what we as quality professionals need to know is like there is an underlying culture, and once the culture component is also being uh, looked at or improved upon, we can see employees start to take better actions or behaviors. Their behaviors will change. Once their actions or behaviors change, we will start to see results. So again, going back to the story that I shared with you at the start. So when you join this new company, right, like you saw how people were mixing around and what people were doing in the staff meeting. So you saw different experiences from your co-workers and from your direct boss and other leadership team members. And from those experiences, right, you started to form a set of beliefs or assumptions or perceptions as to how how you as an individual should behave uh, within the organization. And based on these beliefs, shared assumptions, perceptions, you like take actions or behaviors, and those actions, behaviors end up providing uh, a set of results. So so let's say you like from this culture of quality, this culture model, like you want to become a data-driven organization or a continuous improvement organization or an innovation organization, or you just say you just want to improve on your key performance indicator on like results. So what you need to be doing is to identify what are the different actions or behaviors that are going on within the organization, and then find out the underlying beliefs or assumptions. So let me go to the next slide. So as I mentioned, you let's say you want to like become a continuous improvement organization. Um, so, so you have the culture key drivers. There are certain things that are identified. Then you want to have like a focus group meetings with the different levels of the organization. This is what I've put together here is like a sample of the different levels. You can have more levels. You can have lesser number of levels, but you want to have like a focus group meeting. So let's say you want to you become a continuous improvement organization, then you want to have like a focus group, and on those focus group meetings you want to identify how as an organization we are like all of us are doing on the different key drivers for the culture, quality culture. And from the different focus group meetings, right, you will understand what are the behaviors you are seeing on the different key drivers. So once you know the the behaviors, right, you have to dig down little more deeper, and that is where some of our quality tools like the especially uh, the 5 why analysis is helpful. Like you were trying to find out the underlying assumption or or the beliefs within the organization, shared assumptions or beliefs. So from these different focus groups, you will understand, okay, what are the behaviors that are currently driving the results, and what are the behaviors that are inhibiting or not helpful, but also you know what are the underlying beliefs or assumptions. So what you're seeing on the top are the behaviors or the actions, right? Those are like symptoms, and here on the next level down is like the root cause. So many times we we as quality professionals, we may just like work on the symptom level, and then we are like wondering why we are not getting the right kind of results. But unless we address the core beliefs, uh, if our current set of assumptions or beliefs are not producing the right kind of results we want, the leadership team, they need to adopt new set of beliefs, and then telling employees, okay, we've adopted a new set of beliefs. I think that just doesn't is not enough. So the leadership team for that organization, they need to uh, create new set of experiences, do coaching, other kinds of things once they create those new set of experiences, employees, they start to form the new set of beliefs, and once their employee beliefs change, then their actions will change, and actions or behaviors will change. And once the actions or behaviors change, we will start to see better results, whether it's continuous improvement culture, or you're trying to improve a KPI or an innovation organization. Whatever results you're trying to achieve, you can get those results when you um, focus both on the actions or behaviors as well as the address the beliefs. So on summary, what I want you to take out, what is your takeaway from this presentation is culture, right, plays a very important role. It can help you save millions of dollars annually, $67 million annually. Your organization can have lesser number of errors. I want you to remember the story, like how you applied for a job with the company, and um, some of the examples that I gave on the story. And another important thing is that alignment. You want to make sure that the strategies for the organization are aligned with your culture and other things things that were identified from the global state of quality research, as far as supportive activities, um, organization structure, uh, the hiring, onboarding, promotion. So you want to have a strong alignment between the strategies and the other components. Something for you to be thinking about is, I showed you that maturity model. So you want to identify, okay, where are you in this model? So to make a big difference for your organization, right? Like you can continue focusing on just this maturity model, but you want to take a systems perspective, taking into account culture and other components. So that if you have current programs or initiatives, you can get better results. And then, okay, another thing I want you to be thinking about is what business problem or KPI is important to your team or your organization. Is it a continuous improvement organization, or innovation, or a fact-based or data-driven organization, or a particular KPI like first pass yield, or DPPM for supplier quality, or whatever metrics, what is important to you, you can think about that and make use of this model to get better results for your organization. And these are all the references um, that I used for putting together this presentation. And if you want, you can go and take these surveys. The links are over here on this reference page. So I also want to mention that we have the ASQ World Conference coming up in Charlotte from May 1st to 3rd, and our ASQ Charlotte section is the host section, and we look forward to seeing all of you in Charlotte. Here are some pictures from Charlotte, the Panther Stadium, the Spectrum Center, where the Charlotte Hornets they play. Here's a Romare Bearden Park. It's a sculpture. It's also Charlotte is also called the Queen City. All right. So that is all I wanted to share with you right now. So what questions do you have for me?
Thank you, Muthu. Let's go to the chat box here to see if we do have questions. while we're waiting for questions to come, I'm going to remind everyone once again that the next lunchtime webinar will be on Thursday, February 9th. So that's a couple weeks away. It's reducing the fog using a strategic assessment to identify and develop strategies for quality. And that will be presented by Susan Shaw, PhD, founder of SOS Consulting. She is a founder of ASQ Northern Shenandoah Valley Section 1131, which is the section just to the north of ours here in Blue Ridge. So she has presented for us before last year, and we do have a recording of the talk that she did for us in January of last year on our YouTube channel. So if you want to check out the talk she did for us last year, feel free to do so. But anyway, Susan will be coming back for the next webinar February 9th. So we look forward to hopefully having many of you joining us for that one as well. Okay, I don't know if you can see the chat box, Muthu.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. There's a question from Randall Robinson.
Yeah. Okay, I do know Randy well. Our industry is seeing quality as less of a differentiator. It's essentially taken for granted. Does the culture of quality pertain more to cost for us? I'm not sure if I follow this question. Pertain more to cost. So Randy, to answer your question.
Yeah, do I need to clarify it all?
Yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, does the culture of quality pertain more to cost for us?
The things that you're talking about, I mean, through your presentation, you're talking about differentiators, and even when you make it to the highest level in the maturity model, it turns into a competitive differentiator. Quality does. What we're seeing in our industry is actually quality is almost being ignored. It's taken for granted. It's assumed for the cost of the product that we provide that you will have excellent quality. So does culture of quality, which I agree with, does it really turn more into cost savings rather than competitiveness for some industries?
No, let me go back to the slide. So for the most part, right, many organizations, they focus again like primarily on the levels 1 to 4, but more and more organizations, right, the innovation is seen as a very important component. Then big data analytics, if you see 80% of the data that is coming into the organization is unstructured text. So like quality professionals, we are just working currently with data that is in relational databases and SAP, Oracle, things like that. So we are working on certain things, but more organizations, they are seeing the quality professionals, right? They are getting involved in things like innovation, big data. It's not just about cost savings and all, but that is why like we are starting to see the shift. Quality seen as a strategic asset and a competitive differentiator when they are involved in things like these innovation, big data, sustainability, customer experience. So does that answer your question, Randy?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it, yes. I think quality in our organization can help, certainly help with innovation, make us competitive in that respect, and providing better data. Sure, that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Randy, for the really good question. Does anybody else have any other questions for Muthu? We still have a few minutes left, so if you do, let us know.
One thing I wanted to mention is like in one of the slides I mentioned there are different research that was carried out. I've included those on the references slide, so that material can be a little bit dry, and that is the reason I shared it in the form of a story. But there's a lot of research done, and like you should, if this is of interest to you, you should look into the references section over here.
Okay, Muthu, I'm not seeing any other questions in the chat box. I'm looking at the time too. It is getting closer to 1 o'clock, so if no one has any other questions for Muthu, first off, I'd like to thank Muthu for once again giving this talk today. We will be sending out a survey electronically here, hopefully later on today, to get your feedback from it so that we can learn what went well and what we could work on as far as future webinars are concerned. And if nobody has anything else, we'd like to thank you all for joining us today, and hopefully everybody has a good rest of the day. Thanks again. Bye now.
Thank you.